All right, fastest 15 minutes on the internet, fastest 15 minutes in social media. My name is Judson Powell, and today I got a lot of questions. All right, as I continue to read all this media stuff, and stuff is just not adding up to me. And it's like you have like the smell test, and if it don't smell right, something's wrong, or if it don't look right, or if it don't feel right, and it ain't smelling right, it ain't looking right, it ain't feeling right to me at all. And okay, so I just think that this whole thing right now is geared towards the vaccines and the medicine, the meds that they're trying to push on everybody. Now, but they want to test everything. They want to test everything in the black community or in Africa. They doing trials in Detroit. They trying to send stuff to Chicago, trying to send stuff to New Orleans and all this kind of stuff. And I'm going, well, how come we the guinea pigs? How come they using us like that? And I think we all should be asking questions. I know everybody want to, you just always got a conspiracy theory. You don't trust anybody. And you know what? You're right. I don't. I don't trust. And then, last night I was sitting up here talking to my wife, and she said, she was like, well, how do you really feel? And I said, well, how I really feel is that they trying to use us as guinea pigs. And on top of that, they know that they need us in order to make the drug work, or in order to sell the drug. Because we're their biggest consumers. They know that we are the consumers. And this is all the stuff that I've been teaching and preaching for so long. And nobody, everybody thinks I'm crazy or whatever, but I'm not crazy. There are more black people on earth than there are white people or any other people. Black people make up the majority of the people on earth. Africans and descendants of Africans, the melanated people, the indigenous people of the earth make up the majority of the population. And that's why I keep telling everybody, I'm like, look, even in the United States of America, they have been fooling us for years. They've been giving us the wrong information, the wrong numbers, everything like that. If you look at the number of black people that exist in the Mississippi Delta and in the Tidewater area, and when I say that, I'm talking about Virginia, North Carolina, South Carolina, and then you talk about all of the people in Florida, Georgia, etc., all of those areas, and then basically the entire southeast of the country is a majority black. And then once I started going out, I lived in Denver. I live in Phoenix now, and there are black people everywhere. So I'm trying to figure out where are all of these. And then you talk about the northeast section of the United States, New York, Philadelphia, New Jersey, all of those areas, and when I remember going to college and there were all these black people from Connecticut and Delaware. The only place we might not have a big stronghold might be Maine and Rhode Island or some place like that. But every place else, Washington, D.C., Ohio, Michigan, Detroit, Cleveland, all of those areas, and even a lot of the southern parts of Ohio, because that's where my mom was born and raised, in that area. And there are just a lot of black people. And so I'm trying to figure out where are all these people at? And then the other thing is, why if it seems to me, and this is another question, did they design and engineer this virus to kill us? Because all of a sudden, it's like everything is talking about depopulation. And why is Bill Gates, another question, why is Bill Gates all over the media? Why does what he say, why does it matter? He ain't no doctor, he's a computer guy. So why is he on the media every couple of hours, or I see him on the internet or whatever, he's talking about depopulation and Africa has, and a friend of mine was like, hey, you don't like the media, why do you keep posting? So I said, because I want y'all to realize that they've been saying this stuff since 2014. And now all of a sudden it's coming to fruition. They've been talking about population control. You have what's his name, Prince Harry. He's all off into population control. All the people at that's what Planned Parenthood ain't about helping you have no healthy baby. Planned Parenthood is about abortion, all right, and killing your babies or trying to talk you out of having your babies before you even have them, all right. All of this stuff is because, and once again, the whole white supremacy agenda is about. That's what it's about. They don't want you to have your children, you know. And I tell people, you know, child support is about not wanting you to have your children, welfare, all the government programs are to prohibit and to make it very difficult for the black family to survive. That's what it's all about. They're trying to make it difficult for you to survive. And then after this depression, recession, once again, ask yourself, what's going to happen when all of this is over? And they allow most people don't have jobs right now. Remember, last week there were 6,600,000 new claims for unemployment and for jobs. Okay, and that's not even counting all of the black people that are already unemployed. And then let's talk about this. Remember, that was like Trump's big thing. Oh, we got all, you know, that's why we should vote for him, because black unemployment was down so much. But now what happened? It's completely reversed. All of those gains that we made, we're out. And unfortunately, black folks are going to be the ones that suffer the most from everything that's going on. We are in a recession. Bank of America, Chase, all of these, you know, Morgan Stanley, all of these companies have already said that the economy is in recession. The economy is already there. And I say pretty much it's going to be depression. So what are we going to do? And then they're going to try to push a vaccine, and they're already pushing this malaria drug. And then we find out that Trump has a financial interest in the malaria drug. And they got people taking this malaria drug. There are some doctors that say if you give it to the wrong person, it'll kill them. So, and the first thing they're doing trials on who? Trials on people in jail and in prison. Who is majority, who basically 70% of those people are what? They're black. Yeah. All right. So it just seems like this whole thing is geared at Africans and African Americans. Like I said, and I've been talking about this, you know, about how Bill Gates kept talking about how they were going to lose 100 million Africans in Africa and all this kind of stuff. And how and then the strange thing about after we had already been quarantined for more than 14 days, they come back and tell us that we're going to have to be quarantined longer, and then there's going to be 100. And remember, at that point, there were less than 3,000 deaths. And then they told us that there were going to be 100,000 additional deaths. All right. And then it just so happened. And when people in Africa weren't dying and they were getting healed, then all of a sudden they targeted the United States. And they're not talking about, the thing about it is, they're not talking about how the infections got here. Okay, the infection in New York got here because they allowed 40,000 people to come through New York after they knew about the virus. 40,000 people came through the airports and ports of New York. Same thing with Los Angeles. All right, I don't know the exact number for Los Angeles, but that's how come it's so bad in California and in New York. That's why it is the way it is. And I agree with, you know, what the governors in those states are doing. I agree with it. Once again, the whole thing with Florida and also with New Orleans is the fact of that they did stupid stuff. The governor let the beaches remain open during spring break or whatever it was, okay, in Florida. And then in New Orleans, we know that they allowed Mardi Gras to go on anyway. All right, so we're talking about, you know, no social distancing, no washing of the hands, no none of that stuff. None of that stuff was going on. All right, and then we know in Detroit, once again, Iranians. There's a large in Dearborn, Michigan, there's a large Iranian population. So they were allowing, and the other thing is they never, even in the news media or anything like that, they never said anything about those Iranians. Because remember, that was epicenter number two. China was number one, and then Iran was number two. And as a matter of fact, at one point, they were both going after the United States, saying that they released this disease, this virus, into their countries. All right. And then it's funny how the Iranians captured theirs really quick, and still to this day, nobody is talking about how it got into Italy. All right. So, and it was white people that were dying in Italy, which I guess kind of made the response in the United States a little bit different, and that's why the world closed down, because the white folks started dying and they couldn't figure it out. All right, think about it, and that's what every time I post something, I don't want you to just agree with me. Think about it. Why do these things happen? And then the second thing is, okay, what's the response to it, and why is the response the way it is? See, if those 100 million people in Africa would have died, they wouldn't have did nothing. They would have let them die, and they would have just buried them in mass graves. And right now, I think Governor Cuomo and the state of New York should be trying to sue the Trump administration and trying to get that stuff recouped and get it back. Because at this point, it was definitely the Trump administration's fault. They should not have let all those people, So, and the man said, what the first thing he said, oh, it's a guy on a plane from China, and they still didn't stop them. I mean, come on, y'all. Think about, and then the whole time he said it was a hoax. He said that nothing. I said it was a hoax, but I said it was a hoax for a different reason. I said because they trying to cover up the fact that, and basically this is what I still believe, that he was trying to cover up the fact that the economy had failed, and that tax cut had done way more damage to the economy than they could have ever imagined. See, because this is what happened. They gave major corporations, billionaires, all of their money back. And so what they did was they bought out all the stock. All right. They bought back all their stock. And then what did they do? The stock market crashed. They took all of the money, just like I was telling y'all about how Walmart Corporation took all the money out, and they put it into the family trust. And you notice how all of the politicians, all of the congressmen and senators, y'all saw all those stories about how all these people took all this money out and out of their stocks and invested in other things or hid it away. So they already knew. And that's why I said it's a hoax, because it's smoke screen and mirrors. They didn't have to let this happen. Coronavirus has been around forever. It really has. And you know what? And up until this point, it was never really so dangerous that they developed a vaccine for it. If Lysol knew about it, if Lysol already had it on the Lysol can, trust me, they know about it, and they knew, because what do? They have scientists in labs, right? Testing all these different viruses and stuff, trying to eliminate them and eradicate them. That's what they do. That's what Lysol does. That's what, they are a disinfectant, and what the government seems to have done is infected us without caring about us. and I'm saying this, I'm saying this is not funny. It's very serious, and my heart goes out to everybody that's been affected by it, But you got to also realize that this is all the government. It's 100% the government, and that's why I don't trust anything they say. I don't trust anything they do. And remember, there are preventative measures you can take, and there are cures for coronavirus. You do not have to die from it. Heat it up. Heat kills the coronavirus. 133 degrees Fahrenheit, anything over that, or if it's airborne, 80 degrees, 80 degrees Fahrenheit will kill it. Fastest 15 minutes is up. That's Justin Powell. That's my time. I love you.